Finally, Joe Dementia arrived in Maui.
Kill the monster!
Well, Joe, first of all, I just got a message from the people in Maui, and they said, one, too little too late.
What the hell's going on out here?
And two, you.
I don't give a fuck.
I'm Jazz Berganzo, and this
You're a fucking idiot.
is what's next. Happy hump day, y'all. Jazz Berganzo, what's next? Your daily dose. Hope you guys are feeling good today. Well, didn't get a chance to do this story earlier in the week, but still, my 2 cents. The tragedy that struck Hawaii during the horrific wildfires, and then, of course, just compounded by hurricane winds, left the island of Maui devastated. Millions upon hundreds of millions of dollars of damage. People homeless, living in shelters, and what have you. But there was one thing missing. And of course, I talked about it in a previous video last week. Where was Joe Dementia? Well, Joe Dementia at the time was on vacation. He was in Rehoboth Beach, laying on the beach, drinking a Mai Tai. So he was having a good old time while, of course, the little peons in Maui were suffering, and really, who cares in his world. But finally, he made it to Maui. He made it there. Yes, Joe Dementia, and of course, Dr. Joe, who's not really a doctor, showed up and greeted the wonderful people of Maui, and Maui just embraced them. I couldn't do that with a straight face. And here we go. This comes out of Breitbart. John Nolte, Joe Dementia's 9 cruel Maui bungles. Can you call him a bungle? Can you call him bungle? Or can you just call it what Joe is? A fuck. We have over 100 Americans dead in Maui, over 800 still missing, and Joe Dementia continues to cruelly bungle the response at every level. This tragedy is far from over, so we will undoubtedly be adding to the list. But here are his fraudulencies, Joe Dementia's 9 cruel bungles so far. Number 1. Lying on the beach while Maui burned to the ground. The wildfires began August 8th. By the following day, fires were rampaging. Thousands were without power and thousands were evacuated. During those 2 days, Dementia laid on the beach and said nothing. It wasn't until August 10th that Biden finally roused himself to the beach chair and acted presidential. Before that, all he did was fire off a few tweets a few hours later, but it really wasn't him doing the tweets. But anyway. 2. No comment while on vacation. Days later, while Hawaii burned and the toll of the dead and missing climbed, Dementia only remained on the beach while asked specifically about the rising death toll. Biden said, no comment. Man, how presidential. He even smiled like he thought he was being cute other than sociopathic. I'm at a loss for words. 3. No comments for a full week. See the train going there? A week would pass before Dementia would be bothered to speak at length about Maui. An entire American city is devastated, and the sitting president has nothing to say, no assurances to offer. 4. Refused to visit Maui for 2 weeks. And it continues, unless you're a Republican, and the media are fine with presidents staying out of disaster area for a few weeks and weeks. After all, a presidential visit does overtax a local system already under duress. But rather than assure Americans that, more specifically, Hawaiians, that he was focused on getting Maui everything they needed, he was MIA, out attending a lavish fundraiser and then racing back to vacation. So, priorities. All the while, Maui residents were crying out for help from their own government. 5. Maui residents blast Biden's lack of response. A professional surfer named Connie Lenny, who had been leading local citizen fund relief efforts, told CBS News he hadn't seen a government employee in days. Some of us were kind of sitting back and waiting for help to arrive, he explained, and then nothing. What's sort of happening? We were just in shock. Really? If you watch this guy, really? It was texts and emails and friends for asking help for Lenny to start his boots on the ground effort to deliver supplies for those in need, with goals of holding friends and family over until the government arrives with everything. Yes. But the government didn't show, he said. And it was just like day after day. And Where are they? 6. Bauer uses Maui visit to tell unintelligible stories about hot ground. So after dementia is roused and for a second vacation as many weeks showed up in Maui, President Sociopath decided to get cute again. Keep in mind that over 100 people are confirmed dead and over 800 are still missing, and countless numbers have lost everything, including pets, homes, and belongings. But here's our empathizer in chief. You guys catch the boots out there. That's a hot ground, man.
You guys catch the boots out here? That's a hot ground, man.
Wow. Do we send presidents to disaster areas to sightsee and offer shitty comic relief? 7. Dementia offers devastated Maui households a cool, wait for it, $700. Yes! Yes! Yes, your home that's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, but $700. Here you go. But Ukraine, billions. Biden has sent more than over $100 billion in relief to Ukraine, 150 last count. But he's offering Americans who have literally lost everything a whopping $700. Biden has spent thousands a month to house and feed tens of thousands of illegal aliens who are allowed to invade the country. Yes, 6.5 million and counting. But Americans who have literally lost everything only deserve a one-time payout of $700. And sadly, it's not a joke. 8. Biden uses Maui tragedy to lie about nearly losing his home and wife. The following shouldn't be a surprise coming from the same man who continues to lie about a son, dying in Iraq, which of course he actually died from brain cancer. But while speaking to the victims of Maui wildfires, his fraudulency told a bold-faced lie about how Jill and I have a sense of what it's like to lose a home. To make a long story short, said Joe, I almost lost my wife and my 67 Corvette and my cat. But all kidding aside, I watched the firefighters, the way they responded, and the way they ran into the flames to save my wife and my family. And not a joke. He was talking about a kitchen fire in 2004.
I don't want to compare difficulties, but we have a little sense, Jill and I, what it's like to lose a home. Years ago, now 15 years ago, I was in Washington doing Meet the Press. It was a sunny Sunday, and lightning struck at home on a little lake that's outside of our home, not a lake, a big pond, and hit a wire and came up underneath our home into the heating ducts, the air conditioning duct. To make a long story short, I almost lost my wife, my 67 Corvette, and my cat. But all kidding aside,
it was a fucking Corvette and a fucking kitchen fire. Wow. 9. Biden seems bored at ceremony honoring Maui victims. Yeah. Doesn't look bored there, huh? Right? Age is no excuse. If ice cream were served at this event, he would have been watching Golden Girls, and you can bet there'll be plenty of alert. The man doesn't give a damn. Nothing happening at this sacred event or in Maui interests him at all. What hasn't been said about Joe Dementia at this point? 3+ years into this horrific administration that has killed the economy, millions alive because of a pandemic. Of course, more lives taken because of the wonderful facts. Millions of illegals flooding into the country. And the most horrific natural disaster ever to strike a state in Hawaii, speaking of, outside of volcanic activity in its history. And yet, this old, riddled, dementia motherfucker was laying on a beach, drinking Mai Tais. And then when he showed up in Maui, it was too little, too late. 2 weeks. Hundreds of lives still missing. Over 100 dead. And they're still going through. They're still sifting through And like I said, the body counts will continue to rise. Property damage, shelters run amok, or overfilled, shall I say. But this guy's such a fucking clown, man. Such a fucking clown. And yet, you have those like President Xi and, of course, Putin laughing their asses off all day long and twice on Sundays. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it, hit the notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. And we'll see you next time. Peace.